Hello, good morning and welcome to Business. My name is Sandra Esenam Apeno, and telecoms giant MTN is now set to list on the Ghanaian Stock Exchange come next Wednesday. This was after it raised a little over 1.1 billion Ghana cedis in its historic public offer. George Weafe has more.
According to the official results released by MTN, 128,000 applications came from investors, helping the telecoms giant raise 1.14 billion Ghana cedis. 38.68% of the funds raised came from Ghanaians, whilst the rest from foreigners. Institutional investors also brought in a little over 1 billion Ghana cedis, with retailers accounting for 121 million Ghana cedis. MTN is planning to list 1.5 billion shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange this Wednesday. Chief Executive of MTN Ghana, Salama Dadifo, has been speaking to Joy Business on what next for the firm after what he is describing as a successful initial public offering.
We're very excited about what we've managed to achieve here in terms of raising over $1 billion in this economy today. The next steps, obviously, the listing on the 5th of September. And once we go past the listing, engaging the shareholders broadly at the first AGM. So we're excited to embrace 127 Ghanaians to be shareholders in MTN, and we're looking forward to building a stronger relationship.
You see more pressure on you now, more scrutiny. You've been doing that already, but the requirements that comes with listed or a listed company.
Sure. I mean, remember, MTN is a listed company in South Africa at a group level, and we have standards that traverse all operations. So we're already operating under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of diligence, and that would continue. So I don't expect that to change with the IPO. Yes, there are additional responsibilities like the AGM, but not necessarily in terms of stress on our processes and internal mechanisms. These are all things we've already held to very high standards, and those will continue.
MTN was hoping to raise 3.47 billion Ghana cedis through the initial public offering by selling over 4 billion shares at a price of 75 pesos. For many, MTN may have made history in every area of this public offer in terms of the amount raised, the number of people who participated, and the amount they will be listing on the Ghana Stock Exchange this Wednesday.
Now, Ghanaians will soon have a rare advantage of driving locally assembled Volkswagen vehicle by January next year, thanks to an MOU signed between automobile company VW and the government of Ghana to begin the process of establishing an assembling plant in the country to serve the West African sub-region market. Experts say this would help develop the local automobile industry. According to the MD Thomas Sheffer, if all plans go on without much obstacles, the first batch of vehicles should be in the market by January 2019. The assembling plant is expected to produce about 5,000 units of vehicles every year, with the capacity to do more depending on the market. According to Thomas, the future of Ghana is not to import second-hand cars for use, and noted that the initiative will create jobs for the youth.
This journey about a year ago, where we had the first interaction with the Ghana government, and we believe from what the discussions brought that there's a huge potential in Ghana to move into a proper industrialization, to have an automotive industry. You have a very strong government that is now doing the right policies. They're trying to get jobs created. They want to industrialize. So we believe that Ghana is the ideal spot in Africa now to get started. We also have activities in Nigeria, for example, but we now look at Ghana for Ghana first and foremost. Ghana at the moment, total new cars that get sold here is about 4,000 a year, but the potential is really 250, 300,000 cars per year. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. Used vehicles is not the future. The future is jobs, local jobs and mobility, and that's what Volkswagen stands for, and we are very prepared to come to this country. We'll install a capacity of about 5,000 units, 5,000 cars per year in the first step. Then we see what the market can absorb, and then we will invest progressively to the demand of the market. We don't know. As I said, at the moment, the total demand is about 4,000 new cars. We invest for 5, and then we see how it goes.
On his part, Chief Executive of Universal Motors, the authorized dealer of VW vehicles in Ghana, Sabhi Akid, disclosed that the company is looking forward to working with government to develop the automobile industry. He believes a clear policy for the sector is the right way to go if the industry will be well regulated. The German automobile manufacturer says the move is part of the Germany-Africa investment drive championed by the two countries after the G20 summit last year.
There is the MOU which was signed. Definitely, there should be, before we talk about tax incentive of anything, the government has to come out with the policy for the industry, and based on the policy of the industry, that can develop. We can develop further. We can go further. It may be, I don't know how they're going to apply it, but I'm sure that the government is sitting down to study properly the policy for the auto industry to see how further they can go.
VW has a franchise in South Africa and will be using Ghana to reach out to the West African market. Meanwhile, Minister of Planning Dr. Anthony Akutose has been speaking on some of the advantages that this whole deal is going to bring to Ghana.
Beyond aid is that we want the private sector to take charge. But to do that, you have to convince them that you have something that they want. And that is why it's important that the Chancellor herself was here with a trade delegation, and the Vice President is essentially telling them, look, we want private investors. So you tell us what issues you have, and let's work on them. So that's the whole idea.
The automobile company is not going to compete with our Kantanka here.
No, but I think Volkswagen and Kantanka are two different cars. It depends on the price.
First, we want to grow our local industries.
Yeah, but they want to grow our local industries. But what is the market for Kantanka? You have to ask. People are used to VW and other smaller cars and so forth and so on. I'm not saying that we should not encourage local business, but it is a local assembly. It's not local manufacturing. So maybe they can move to a different level. And by all means, we should encourage them through bulk government purchases and things like that.
Are we giving them any tax incentives?
As of now, I don't know yet. Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But can you tell me the portion of Ghana's share of the German Africa grant?
I don't know if we have a share, but the last year they gave us 100 million out of that. And it can go up depending on what negotiations they are. You can see that they are looking for local partners. So now our responsibility is to find local partners to work with them. There will be a conference in Germany in October, but another one in Ghana in February. Hopefully we would have done some more work. GIPC will visit Germany before then.
That's all for business this morning, but the small business news at 12:30. My name is Sandra Isenamapeno.